We're here with Mrs. Faye Tillery. Mrs. Tillery, can you tell us about your job?
Well, I supervise the Visitor Center at the state capitol in Baton Rouge, and we basically greet and help visitors who come to the building. That involves school children, the touring public, just anybody who needs a little help or assistance or guidance or just somebody to talk to for a few minutes.
And what do you think is the most important thing about the Capitol?
I actually think the historical part of it is very important. Of course, we all know that the legislative and executive part with the governor's office and all, that's important, but visitors come here very interested in Huey Long. They've just heard about him and they want to know more about the site of his unfortunate shooting and where he's buried. So I think that's important here at the Capitol.
What is it that you show on the tours that you give?
Well, we usually start the tour in the Memorial Hall. That's the main center room. It's sort of the focal point, and we speak there about 5 minutes on just the history and the cost of the building, things like that. And then we rotate the groups over to the House of Representatives and give a brief presentation on things like the number of representatives and their term in office, things like that. And then we go into the back hallway to the area concerning Huey Long, and we give a little more detail about how that happened. And then we proceed down to the Senate chamber and do basically the same thing that we did in the House. And by that time, the children have listened about as long as they want to, and we'll bring them back to the elevators, and they'll usually go up to the observation tower. They really enjoy the view from the 27th floor on the top.
How did you get into this profession?
Well, I majored in social sciences at Southeastern, and actually, I believe I went to the old state capitol one day about 30 years ago and just enjoyed visiting it, and I thought, well, this might be interesting and a fun place to work in one of the capitals. And I actually contacted the personnel manager with the Office of Tourism and just talked to them, and a few days later got a phone call about a part-time position.
Oh, wow. Can you tell us a little bit about the architecture of the place?
Huey Long was the guiding force, and he contracted with architectural firm from New Orleans, Weiss, Dreyfus, and Seaforth, to be the architects, and they chose the style Art Deco, which was very prominent and typical in the late 1920s and 1930s. And with Art Deco, it was basically a tower design, and he wanted our observation tower, or our capitol rather, to be the tallest in the nation. And he learned that the people up in Lincoln, Nebraska were also constructing a capitol that was a tower formation, and he sent a small delegation up to Nebraska to check on the height of that so that he could come back and report that ours needed to be a certain number of feet taller. So it remains the tallest state capitol in the nation. It's 450 feet tall and was built in 14 months at a cost of $5 million.
Well, thank you very much. Is there anything else about the Capitol that you'd like to tell us?
Well, I'd just like to invite everyone to come. The observation tower is actually open 7 days a week from 8 till 4, and there's a nice gift shop there, and they can always come and see the chambers, and we have brochures and highway maps, and we can give them maps of other places to visit here in Baton Rouge, because right here, for instance, on the grounds of the Capitol is the new Louisiana State Museum. It is just magnificent, and is a good adjunct to visiting here at the building.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.